that double integration method. So one of the methods is double integration, and how to derive that equation or the relation. What we are trying to do, we are trying to find out the slope and the deflection. So we want to find out the relation in terms of the y and x. Where is the y and where is the x? For example, here, this is the x axis, and let's assume that this is the y axis. Y representing the deflection of the beam and x is representing the length along the beam here. Okay, so let's assume that this is a simply supported beam, and after deflection I have taken this. Okay, initially it is like this, and after deflection it would be like this, and I have taken some small portion on the beam AB, and this AB is nothing but the length of this is let's assume ds. Okay, length of this is ds, and if I join, this is this is bending as a circle here, and if I join these 2 points at the center, okay, then it is making let's assume that the angle is d theta and radius is r, and I have drawn a tangent here at a and as well as the tangent at b. So tangent a is making let's assume theta, then the tangent B will make an angle theta plus d theta. Why it is making only d theta? And if you observe, this d theta will be equal to the angle between these two radii. That is a d theta. Why? Why? Because here what we learned, the angle between any two lines is equal to the angle between any other two lines which are perpendicular to the first two lines. So here it is a theta, and here theta plus d theta. What is the angle here? This is a d theta. Okay, when the angle between these two tangents is d theta, then definitely here also angle should be d theta. Okay, so here I want to find out the relation from the relations that I already know. So what is the relation that I already know? M by I equal to E by R equal to F by Y. So this is related to the beam. Okay, see here it is also beam. When can I call beam? It is subjected to the lateral forces. Okay, then only the slope and the deflections are happening here. Anyway, I can use these two relations and try to find out something here. So R I can find out from that. What is the R? ds equal to d in a sector, the length of the sector equal to the angle subtended by the sector into the radius. Okay, so d theta into r here, or 1 by r equal to d theta by otherwise 1 by r equal to d theta by ds, otherwise r equal to ds by d theta. I can keep that also. R equal to ds divided by d theta. And one more thing I can write from this relation. Okay, so how to write this ds in terms of the x and y? Okay, if you recollect our curvatures in the mathematics, then ds square equal to dx square plus dy square. How we got that? For example, this is a very small element. Okay, in the xyz coordinates, if I want to represent this is x and this is y, we no need to spend this much derivation. For the GATE aspirants, okay, you simply skip this derivation and you remember the final formula. So this is the, for example, this is the let's assume that this is the ds. Okay, and this is the dx, and then this is the dy. So if you approximate this, then this is a right angle triangle, and ds square is equal to dx square plus dy square. Okay, and then here I will write like a ds divided by dx equal to square root of 1 plus dy by dx whole square. I took dy common, and dy by dx is nothing but what? Dy by dx is nothing but tan theta. Okay, tan theta, something here, theta is there. And what is the tan theta? Tan theta is nothing but slope here. Okay, so that is what we got here. And if I substitute in this equation, then what happens? ds divided by dx will become 1 plus tan square theta. 1 plus tan square theta is nothing but secant square, sorry, secant theta here. Okay, so somehow I will do some jugaad here and try to derive in that manner. So here r again I can write like a ds divided by dx divided by d theta divided by dx. Okay, I divided with the dx. See, finally we want to derive something relation in terms of x and y. That is why I am doing all this. Okay, ds by dx divided by d theta by dx. Okay, why? Because why here dx will cancel and finally you will get a ds, and here this is the thing, and here I can do one more thing. For example, I want to find out the d theta in relation between d theta and dx. So I will use this equation. Okay, both sides I will differentiate with respect to the x. So here when I differentiate, what happened? Tan theta differentiation is secant square theta into d theta divided by dx equal to, this will become d square y by dx square. Okay, and again secant square is nothing but 1 plus a tan square, 1 plus tan square, so it is 1 plus tan square. Okay, d theta divided by dx equal to d square y divided by dx square. So I will substitute these values here. When I substitute, what is the ds by dx? ds by dx is nothing but secant theta. Okay, divided by what is this value? D theta by dx. D theta by dx is nothing but d square y divided by dx square divided by 1 plus tan square theta. Otherwise I will keep it as a secant square theta. Okay, then how much it will become? It will become secant cube theta divided by d square y divided by dx square. For the gate you skip this portion and finally go to the the final thing. And here r value, if you know the r value, then what is happening here? If you know the r value, then you can find out the relation between y and x by double differentiating. But many times in the problem, when the problem is stated for you, how it is stated, for example, there is a cantilever beam, its dimension is so and so, and this much force is applied, then find out the deflection. That is what they are saying. But they are not saying that when it is applied, this much radius of curvature is formed, then you find out the deflection. They are not going to ask like that. They are giving out the forces. So you cannot use directly this, but instead you can use this moment. Why? Because the resistant moment here can be found out from the forces that are acting on the beam here. Okay, so you substitute this portion. So when you substitute that portion, then it will become r. If you substitute, then it will become ei divided by m equal to secant cube theta divided by d square y by dx square. But we want to find out d square y by dx square. D square y by dx square, and ei also, if I keep this common, ei is a constant always for a given cross section and material. Okay, the only thing that is changing along the length of the beam is m here, m into secant cube theta. Secant, I will substitute that value here. M into secant is 1 plus tan square theta whole cube. Okay, so 1 plus tan cube is nothing but m into 1 plus dy by dx whole square again, whole cube. Okay, this is the value. So, sorry, this is how much? See, this can be written. How can I written this? See, this is a not formula. See, secant square equal to 1 plus tan square. So I will write this is a square into square into 3 by 2. I will write. Then 2 will get cancelled and 3. So here in the same way 3 by 2. 3 by 2. Okay. And here also 3 by 2. Then already dy by dx is very small and dy by dx whole square is small. We will neglect this. Then it will become 0. Then 1 power 3 by 2 it will become 1. Then here it is only m here. And here you need to see whether m is a constant or not. So here m is not constant. Why? Here we are finding out the y with respect to x. That means by changing different cross section all along the beam, we are trying to find out the deflection. So whenever you are going all along the beam, then in some cases the moment will be constant, in some cases the moment will change. So instead of taking m here, I will write that m as mx. What is the meaning of that m suffix x? The change in the moment with respect to the length of the beam. Okay. So you substitute this m value here. Okay, sometimes if it is a constant, only the constant value. Otherwise, if it is depending on the x value, then you need to substitute in terms of the x value. When you substitute this m value and double differentiate this, okay, when you double integrate, then what happen? If you do single integration, you will find the slope. If you do double integration, you will find the deflection. Okay, and by using the boundary condition. What are the boundary condition? That's what I talked. The boundary condition for the cantilever beam is what? At the fixed support, the deflection is 0 and then slope is 0. And what are the boundary conditions for the simply supported? The deflection at both ends are 0 and then the slope at the maximum deflection is 0. Okay, we need to use those boundary conditions. Okay, so this is the final formula. Sometimes it is also called as the Macaulay double integration formula, or it is generally called as the differential equation of the flexure of beam here. Okay, we will apply this equation and see how to find out different beams.